everyone, welcome along to today's live video. It is Thursday. Can you believe it? I made it through the live talk yesterday. Whew, I was so nervous. I proper had to do deep breathing and everything before it. And I don't even know why. I mean, I come on here live every day and like we get like sometimes 20,000 views and I just blah 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 with like no preparation and I'm fine. Then last night, oh my days, I was nervous. It was alright though. It's just so weird doing a talk like that with no audience because you can't like hear anyone's reaction, know if they're laughing, know if they're aghast. It's just weird. But anyway, thank you to everyone that joined in and watched the talk. The organisers were super happy with the response and with all your lovely comments and questions. And for anyone who missed it who wasn't able to get online, they are going to make the recording available for everyone to watch next week. So I'll be sure to share the link with you then. I'm just going to update my laptop. Hi everyone. Oh, hi everyone from Denmark. Hello. Now, today I've got a story to tell you, but I'll tell you at the end. Today we're going to do a little bit more live colouring, and it's actually something that we've semi-done before. I almost said semi because I thought I was American. Then I remembered I'm not American, I'm indeed Scottish, and we say semi. We've semi-done it before. Now, do you remember this? The We Can Do, I know it's back to front, the We Can Do Hard Things download. So, in the first iteration of this, which I had earlier, but I've lost, I hadn't put Glennon's name, Glennon Doyle, the lady who said this amazing quote, at the bottom of the download because I'd mentioned her in the post and in all the places that you could get the download because obviously I didn't make this sentence up. But I realised that when people are sharing their images, it's obviously not got Glennon's credit on it. And I'm a big fan of credit where credit's due. So I've redone the download and added in Glennon's name at the bottom, as it should have been at the start. I don't know why I didn't just do that, because it kind of looked like I said it, because my name was at the bottom for the artwork. But if people were just downloading the picture and sharing it, or sharing their colouring, or it was getting pinged about and detached from my original post, you couldn't read that it was from the book Untamed. I was like, oh no, it doesn't sit well with me. So today we're going to colour this because I need to take a picture to put it on the website. I'm going to get going. Hi Alison, just need a few bits of paper, hold on. Imagine I just like kept scooting along, it's like bye. I hate drawing colouring straight onto the desk, so I pop a few sheets of black paper underneath. Let's get going. Hi Pamela. Right, let's do this. Here we go. Someone said, where's the download for this? It's on my website. If you just go onto johannabasford.com. Hold on. Oh, this lad's foot's in the way. No. I need to show you my little studio buddy in a minute. I showed him on Instagram yesterday. I was like, why have I never showed the Facebook crew this? They would laugh. So the original download of this is on my website. You can still get it. www.johannabasford.com, and I'll pop a link when we're done. Oh, where's my pencil sharpener? I'll just see if I can manage it without a pencil sharpener. Oh, I won't manage. The detail's too small. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to get my pencil sharpener. Imagine I'd had to do that during my talk. Hi, welcome to the University of Dundee, where we value hard work and being prepared. Hold on while I go and get my pencil sharpener. Could you imagine? Right. Here we go. So the sole purpose of this is just so that I've got a nice coloured in image that I can use as the new thumbnail on my website, where you can download this from, and we've got Glennon's name in it, so that I feel like I'm not infringing our copyright or trying to take credit for something that's infinitely more intelligent than anything I've come up with. And if you haven't got it already, this is a great little mantra, quote, words to live by that you can colour in and stick on your mirror, your bedroom door, the refrigerator, over your desk, anywhere that you need a wee reminder. Will we do it all in blues? I think maybe I will actually. Anywhere that you need a wee reminder. What are people asking about? Let me see. Arteza glitter pens. Do you know what? I was just writing something about them just now. They are indeed lovely. I think I might do... What can you see? You can just see the wee. That's fine. Is that all the flowers? Is all the rest foliage? Do you know what it is? I've never noticed that before. I'm going to stick to just 2 shades of green for the foliage. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to have 3. I like these 2 colours. So these are the Statler Ergo Softs, but you need 1 dark, I think. So all the foliage will just be in these 3 greens. Betsy says, do you ever use fine liners? Yeah, sometimes. I find that they bleed when I'm working in a colouring book. I press quite hard. So I prefer pencils for the colouring books. They're just a bit more versatile as well. You can blend them, press with different pressures. You know what I mean. Smoosh them about a bit. Pens and ink are just a bit all or nothing for me. You don't really have that variation and flexibility. What I like ink for is adding details. So I'm just planning out some tutorials and videos that we're going to film for the launch of the new book, and one of them that I was just writing earlier was how to use gel pens to add details over the top of your coloured pencil work. So that's how I like to use ink, as more of a final finesser or detailer, because then you don't have prolonged nib to paper contact. That's how you start to get bleeding, if the nib is touching the paper for a long time, because the ink just saturates the paper and bleeds through. But if you're just adding details at the end, you can you don't have to worry about that. So for example, if you just add like a line of wee spots or some extra wee bits here and there over the top of the coloured pencil, you're not colouring in and filling in big bits of ink, big areas of ink. It's really little just details. So that's a way of getting those pops of colour and the intensity of ink, or the sparkle and glimmer of a gel pen, a glitter gel pen, without having to worry about the ink bleeding through. What pencils are you using today, please, says Karen. Statler Ergo Softs. Because the detail is quite small on this printout, this is just A4 size, I need a pencil that I can sharpen super, super sharp to a good point. I would struggle to do this with a wax-based pencil like a Prismacolor or an Arteza, or even actually a Polychromo, an oil-based one. You just need something that's hard so that you can push down and get a good fine line. I don't know why I've forgotten to do the foliage over here. So another thing that I'm planning just now that I'm going to tell you about, because I've had I've noticed a few messages and people asking, is the launch event. So you know how we usually do Inky Art School or some sort of live colour along event. I'm doing that again this time, slightly different, because it's a slightly different book and it's a slightly different time in the world. So I thought we needed something a bit different. So I'm just putting the finishing touches to that, and here's the thing, to get the most out of it, you will need the book. So pre-order your copy and have it ready. The launch event is going to be the week after the book launches. I can't remember the dates. I'll share all this information as soon as I can. If you live in a country where you cannot get the book, for example, or for whatever reason you can't get the book in time for the launch, don't worry. I'm going to adjust things so that you can still take part, whether that means there's a download or a similar page that we can help you get. So you can still take part, but if you want to follow exactly what we're doing in the lives, you will need the book. So that was the best way that I could think of doing it, because obviously we need something that's specific to the book, but I can't give away 2 ton of free pages. My publishers would go bananas. So that's what we've done. I'm doing a blend of downloads from the book and then other things that we've got that are similar, that are already out there, that will allow you to take part. But if you can, get the book. That's the best way to do it. But I totally appreciate that the book isn't going to be available in all countries in the next few weeks. If you live in the UK and the US, you're sorted. You can easily get it. Now I'm going to do the wee yellow bits inside there. There's a wee red bit there. I don't even know what that is. It must have been on my pencil. There's the wee. Oh, I'd like this. Yeah, I think we're going to do it all blue and green, just like that. Limited colour palette. Oh, sorry, it was such a sniffle. Hold on while I blow my nose. Sorry. Right. Oh, Yvonne's booked a holidays, especially for the book coming out. Bless you, Yvonne. That is the funniest thing I've heard. Amazing. I love that dedication. I'm going to book my holidays so I can just spend a few days colouring. Do you know what? Good for you. You probably need it. What a year. I say, well done you. That sounds like epic self-care and just a fantastic treat to yourself. Bravo. I love that. I'm going to tell my publishers. They love things like that. They're always amazed. I don't think other authors have have people in their community quite like you guys, or maybe they do, but the authors just don't have the same relationship with them as I have with you, because we do all these lives. I'll be like going, yeah, and then Bev, blah, 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 and I'll be speaking away, and, you know, like, Emily does this, and blah, 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 and they're like, how do you know all these people? I don't know, we just, like, all know each other from the internet. I've hardly met anyone in real life. I've met Emily in real life. Isn't it funny? I speak about you all like I actually know you. Like, we've all been out for cups of tea and stuff. So funny. But I mean, I guess technically we have, because I sit here drinking tea while I'm doing these, so we technically have all had cups of tea together. Lovely. I think I'll do all the flowers and then all the greenery. As you can see, I'm not paying too much attention to whether or not I go over the lines. Some people are still aghast at my lackadaisical approach to staying within the lines. Life's too short to stress about it. Just go over them. I'm officially giving you all permission to go over the lines. Now, I don't know if this is a vine or maybe like a wee lupin or something. Will we do this green or blue? I don't know. Oh, Julie says, maybe in the future you could do a tour of the UK. I like where you're going, Julie. Here's the actual thing. I don't particularly like doing tours because of a plethora of reasons. Here we go. Number one, I've got 2 small children and sometimes we barely make it around the supermarket. Could you imagine taking them on a book tour? Like literally, sometimes we'll get into the supermarket, we've not even made it to hummus. So you know how a supermarket is laid out in the UK. Hummus is at the end of fruit and veg. So it's sort of like potatoes, spring onions, hummus, coleslaw, dips, and then it's into yogurts. Some days we don't even get to hummus. And I'm like, you know what? It's not even worth it. Put everything back. We're leaving. Or like that'll do. We'll just take that. Just get to the quick checkout. We're not even going to get the rest of the list. We'll just have hummus for dinner. So book tour would be a challenge. Secondly, Amy says, we could all pop round to yours instead, Johanna. Could you imagine? I would need a lot of spare chairs. Somebody would definitely have to sit on like the yoga ball. Somebody else would be sitting on like perched on the kids' chairs. You know how it is when you have loads of friends around but there's not enough seats. A few people can just sit on a yoga mat on the floor. I was explaining why I don't do book tours. Secondly, it's really difficult for people to be available on the day that you're doing stuff, particularly if they have to travel, which is expensive and tricky at the best of times, never mind during one of these things, like a pandemic. And then you have to pick places. And instinctively people always go, well, go to the big cities. We'll go to London, we'll go to Edinburgh, we'll go to Manchester. And you see, as somebody who grew up not in a big city, that kind of mentality used to really annoy me when I was younger. I was like, what about us in Aberdeen? Nobody ever comes up here. Do you know what I mean? So I quite like doing the online things. Or maybe do a few in-person things eventually, once my children are of an age where I can take them places without just breaking into a sweat. But for now, I feel it works really well. I've noticed loads of authors not complaining, but being a bit sad about having to do online book launches. I'm like, I don't know what you're moaning about. I love it. You can speak to all your people in one go. I've got leggings on today, not even wearing a frock. Nobody has to travel. People can watch again later if they're a different time zone. It's just so much more democratic. I love it. I'm like queen of the online book tour. Oh yeah, sorry. Andrea's saying there's been loads of fake accounts. I've seen that as well. I think it's a sign that you're doing okay when people can be bothered to set up fake accounts in your name. Guys, you know me. If you see some random account where my name's spelt a little bit wrong and I'm trying to encourage you to win something or buy something in a weird way, you know it's not me. I don't really know what Facebook does about stuff like that. Can you say what colour? Oh, hold on. Can you say what colours you're using? Or what names of the colour? No, do you know what? I don't, because I don't think you should worry about it. You see, if I lean into that question, we end up spending so much time with me rattling off numbers or names of colours, and the honest truth is it doesn't matter. Look, pick yourself 3 greens. I'm going to deliberately hide it. 3 greens from whichever packet of colouring pencils you've got, like a dark, a medium and a light, and they'll work beautifully together. Have faith in your ability to pick your colours. Honestly, you don't need somebody to tell you which colour combos to use. Think more about creating nice little clusters of colour than replicating exactly the colour combos that somebody else is using. Because I think, if I'm being honest, if you do that, you're missing out on part of the charm. It would be like it would be like eating a donut with your eyes closed. Part of the enjoyment is seeing all the different sprinkles and the colours and the beautifulness of it. Part of the joy of colouring is picking your colours. I was about to say, unless you're colourblind, in which case I get it, you might need a bit of help, but I don't think colouring would be the first hobby if you suffered from severe colour blindness, would it? I'm not really sure how that works. My grandpa, married to my gran, on my dad's side, used to watch snooker. I don't know if you get that in other countries. Billiards, pool, like snooker, on the television. But he had a black and white TV. And I remember being little and looking at him watching this, going, what? But how do you even know what's going on? And he just says, you have to listen to the commentary. I was like, doesn't look massively fun to me. Imagine that. Okay, we can. It's looking quite nice, isn't it? Oh, apparently you get colourblind makeup artists. Wow. Maybe colourblind colourists just go at it with absolute gusto because they've got none of the inhibitions that we've got about picking the right colour or colour choice. Maybe that's the way forward. It's like living without fear, that, isn't it? What a line. See, when there's 3 flowers like this together, I only do 2 of them in the same colour and I'll do 1 in a different. I think if you have 3 all the same, it just looks a little bit heavy and blobby. It's nice to break it up with a separate colour. It's a bit like forget-me-nots. Oh, that's quite a nice a little bit of symmetry. So if we pretend in our heads that all these little blue flowers are forget-me-nots, I know they don't look like forget-me-nots, but pretend that they do, then it's like a forget-me-not daisy chain telling you don't forget this great motto in life. It's a tedious jump, I give you that. Granted, but just go with it. Now, is that all our flowers? Oh, there's these little, this is like a little cow parsley thing down here, but I'll make it blue. Oh, Moira MacArthur, do you know my grandpa? He was an amazing gardener. Bless. My grandpa was the head gardener at Broddick Castle Gardens on the Isle of Arran. So the Isle of Arran is a little island on the west coast of Scotland, and it often gets called Scotland in miniature because it's not a massive island at all. Like, you can cycle around it in a day. What size would it be? Somebody from the west coast will know. My cousin, she always knows. And there's a castle on the island called Broddick Castle Gardens, well, Broddick Castle, and my grandpa was the head gardener of that property for years when I was growing up. It was just beautiful. That's what inspired Secret Garden, actually, those castle gardens. Actually, I've just remembered, he was colourblind, and I'm sure I remember people saying that there was an issue. you know, when they're planting up those sort of really formal flower beds that they sometimes have at like fancy places with like begonias and stuff, I think there was an issue with them because you couldn't see the colours. How funny. He was also this is bananas now that I think about it. So he was colourblind. He was also allergic to bees and suffered from hay fever. I don't know what he was thinking at the career choice stage. Like, what's a career that's just gonna make me suffer? But he loved it. How funny, eh? He always had a massive cotton hanky in his pocket because his nose was permanently running from all the pollen. How are we doing for time? Oh, 23 minutes past. Excuse me. I'm just going to do this bit and then no more, and we'll try and finish this off next week, I think. This will be enough for me to take a picture. Oh, I got some flowers. Remember I said, are the florists even open? I need to get some stuff for taking some photos. So I didn't get myself organised quick enough to go to a florist, but I just got there was a really fancy bunch of flowers at the door of the supermarket, reduced from £20 to £8 because they were on their way out. I was like, oh, bingo, I love that. Doesn't matter if they won't last long, I just need to take some photos. So I snapped them up, being the happy shopper that I am. There we go. So I've done all of this with just 6 pencils. I'll zoom out and you can see. So I'm using the Staedtler Ergo Softs, and all I've used are these 3. 2 blues for the flowers, a yellow for the tiny little bits in the middle, and then our 3 greens. So if you want to make it nice and easy, go for a limited colour palette. I honestly think that's the way forward. Look how easy that is. Oh, Marcia, I had to look up what a quid is. I forget, sorry. £1. £1. A quid. Right. A quick sip of tea there. Hope you like that, folks. Let me just show you it like that. Do you think we should do... I was wondering if we should do hard things pink and green. So it's like split. I'm not sure. Maybe it's better to do it all in one. Quite pleased with that though, isn't it? It's nice, isn't it? 6 pencils. Right. So, can you see this here? I don't know why. I've never shared this with you guys before. Anyone that was on the Insta chat, the Insta live yesterday will know what's about to come. So, you know how sometimes I'm like scuffling about over here. I'm like, oh, I've kicked the tripod and that guy's in the way. You're like, what guy? Look. This guy, you was in one of my exhibitions ages ago. He's just like a big inked mannequin. And sometimes when I'm filming, I have to try and get the camera to focus on where I am. And obviously, because it's just me here, it's not like anyone can do it for me. So I pick him up and put him in this seat and then focus the camera, if I'm not using my phone, on him. And then I can never bother putting him over there. So he just sits here. And I'm really used to him now. But you see a folk come in, like with the post or to check the gas meters, they go, ah! Because he's just sitting there lurking about in the background. And then through there's a lady as well, and she's standing up. She's all inked. And I've just got nowhere to put them, so she's just standing there. But I have her standing facing me, well, facing into the studio with her back to the window, which is fine. But if you're outside looking in, all you see is her back. So you basically just see her bare bottom poking out the window. It's so funny. And it just makes me laugh. So funny, so funny. And when I'm moving him, he's seated. So I have to just, and he's quite light, it's just fiberglass. I pick him up, but there's always like an issue of like, oh, sorry, like, where do you put your hands and stuff? I'm getting embarrassed just even thinking about it. Anyway, so that's that. I don't know why I've never mentioned that he's sitting there before. Like, the whole time that we've been doing these, he's there. Just, somebody said yesterday, does that not freak you out? It's like, it did initially, but I'm used to it now. Oh, somebody says, what happened to the dog? I sold the dog. So what happened was, all this stuff from the exhibition, this was all made for an exhibition that I did years ago, was in a shed up at my mum and dad's house. And my mum and dad live on a farm, so there's a lot of sheds and a lot of space. But sporadically, every now and again, they'll go, right, that's it. Clear all your stuff out of here. Like, why are you just storing stuff here? I'm like, Mum, don't you understand? I've got loads of things that aren't important enough for me to have in my own house that I own, but are also too important to throw away. So they belong in your house. And I appreciate that I'm going to be 40 in a few years and I'm a homeowner with 2 children and a large cupboard that I could technically put things in and a studio. But I just don't want those things in my space. I just want them in your space. And she'll go, no, that's it. Come on, get rid of everything. So then I have to go up there and like load some token boxes into the car. I never fully clear it out. You've got to leave some stuff. Otherwise, I fear they might like change those rooms into something else. But yeah, at one point they were like, right, get rid of those mannequins. So they've ended up in here. And the dog I sold, I think I just sold him on the internet. How funny. Does he have a name? No, and so he doesn't have a name. He's absolutely ripped though. Like, he's been in the gym. So funny, so funny. Right, Sam. Why would I call him Sam? What do you think I should call him? Sam's a bit of an odd one. I mean, he's been drawing with Posca pens. Would we call him? See, the dog was called Posca Pup. I'd named the dog. I haven't named him or his missus through the house. I don't know. Have you seen that movie Mannequin where they come to life? Actually, I should mention that because now I'll just start to freak myself out. Right, on that note, I'm going to go. Someone's saying, wait till your children come and fill your loft with their stuff. Yeah, but I feel like that's okay. That's a natural progression of things. I'm fully aware that will happen. Granted, I've probably got more stuff than the average person. At one point, I had a boat. Like, I'd found this boat on the internet. Like a little fiberglass dinghy thing, again, for that exhibition, and I'd drawn on it. What'd you do? Put it in your mum and dad's shed. I was like, I don't care if you can't get your car in. Where am I going to put a boat? Do you know what I did with that boat eventually? I donated it to one of the primary schools around here, and they had it in the playground for the kids to climb in and out of. It's funny. That was another time my dad was like, honestly, get rid of that. Okay. Right, I'll see you back here on Monday now. Have a lovely weekend when it comes. Thank you so much for all your kind comments yesterday. It's been a lovely week of lives, hasn't it? Done our flip through. And yeah, see you back here on Monday. Have a lovely weekend. Be kind. Do a bit of colouring. Go and book your holidays for the week that Worlds of Wonder comes out. See you soon.